Today's going to be a really quick video. If you like my content, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell. But I wanted to go ahead and jump straight into the topic. One of the main reasons why Black people haven't solved the race problem is because it's a complex problem, and Black people tend to think of solving problems in a simple way. And what I mean by that is we think that it's one thing. Like, all it takes is we get down to the root cause. Like, what's the root cause? And that's a singular way of thinking when they're at the root. If you look at a plant and you look down at the roots, there's a whole bunch of different roots branching off, because usually in a problem, that's the reason why we use that term, is because yes, there's an underlying problem, but there's branches to it. It's not just one single thing. And so this also leads to people arguing because they think in such a singular way, and you have one idea and then I have one idea, and if they don't match up, then there's a space to argue, even though we're both probably right, because white supremacy is that complex. It's that it spreads, it touches everything. It's everywhere and it affects everything. So, all right, so here's an example. So I'm watching The Breakfast Club and Killer Mike is up there and DJ Envy and him begin having an argument, and it was impromptu. They weren't even talking about this subject, but it ends up taking up the whole time. Like, they end up talking about this for, I think, a full hour, even though that wasn't what Killer Mike was there for. So Killer Mike was arguing about how Black children should be in Black schools so that they can build their confidence and things like that. And then you got Envy, who was talking about, well, private schools where there are a lot of white students have higher learning. That's the reason why he put his kids in those type of classes. So that was fine. They're both right. And what people don't understand is that whenever you're having a conversation like this, you're talking about it from a larger context. So it's not a conversation about what's better, private versus public school, which is what they were starting to argue about, when really that's the only way that you can have the conversation to be two sides. But really it's one side, because we're talking about white supremacy, which is causing both. It's causing children not to have higher level education, and it's causing children to not have self-esteem. So really, we need to be in a situation where we get rid of both those symptoms. So you talking about one symptom and me talking about another symptom doesn't mean that we're arguing about that, or we should argue about that. It's like HIV. Well, HIV causes weight loss. So then one doctor's talking about weight loss, and then another doctor's talking about the fact that it causes cancer or something like that. Really, yeah, we're talking about HIV. We should get rid of the HIV. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't sit up here and debate each other back and forth about this. It's like, let's just get rid of the HIV if we can. Now, that's not a good example because we can't get rid of HIV. So we probably should deal with the cancer. But you get what I'm saying? White supremacy is such a big, complex problem that it has so many different symptoms and different parts of life that it affects. It affects everything. So just because you're focused on one symptom and I'm focused on another symptom doesn't mean that we need to argue about it. There's 40 million of us. You can focus on getting your part done, and I can focus on getting my part, and we all good. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with reparations versus Black business. Like, there's people that think that Black people need to get reparations, and then you got people that think that we need to focus on Black businesses. Now, you can get both. Like, I don't understand why these people think that we can't get both. We can't focus on both, because we have enough people. What, you can go and do the reparations thing, and I'll do the business thing. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully we'll both succeed. And at the end of the day, that's how it will end white supremacy. But all this thinking that white supremacy is going to basically fall just because there's this one last little thing that black people need to do. One thing. What's the root cause? This singular thing and it's not like that. There's no one thing. You got to get the whole, like all the roots, the little, all the branches of the root. You got to get it all at the same time. And that's the video. Don't argue with people out there, and make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. Both approaches to doing it because it's that complex. Either way, we're going to need to build our own businesses, and either way, we should be going for reparations. You know, so you guys are both arguing about the same thing. We need money. You know, at the end of the day, we just need money to support ourselves. So how we go about doing it, we have enough people. We have 40 million people. Some people can go for the reparations. Some people can go for the businesses. We don't need to be against each other. At the end of the day, we need multiple approaches. We need multiple approaches to solve this problem because it's so complex. It's so invasive that there's no way that you're gonna even just one side of it. If we give people a bunch of money and they ain't got no businesses or they don't even have business sense, then it's not gonna work either. You know what I mean? So it's you gotta have both. And black people need to understand that each thing that you do helps get closer to it. It's not going to be just a one thing and then it's over. It's like you got to do all these different things and then it will work. Hopefully I didn't ramble for too long.